Welcome to the November 1st, 2021 meeting of the Rotary Club of Jamestown. Please join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance, singing of our national anthem, and repeating the four-way test. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose red stripe and bright stars through the perilous fight for the ramparts we watched
We're so gallantly
and the bombs our flag was still there. Say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave. Let's repeat the four-way test. Of the things that we think, say, or do, is it the truth? Is it fair to all concerned? Will it build goodwill and better friendships? Will it be beneficial to all concerned? Thank you. And our invocations with Tori Ergang.
The invocation that I've selected for today is from this little yellow book that Amanda Gorman, who, if some of you can remember, she was the poet who spoke at the inauguration last January. So I'm just going to read an excerpt from that wonderful poem. It seemed relevant to me given this week. To compose a country committed to all cultures, colors, characters, and conditions of man. And so we lift our gazes not to what stands between us, but what stands before us. We close the divide because we know to put our future first, we must first put our differences aside. We lay down our arms so that we may reach out our arms to one another. We seek harm to none and harmony for all. Each in our own belief, let us pray. Creator and sustainer of life, thank you for the privilege to live in a country that seeks to put differences aside and work together. Watch over our nation this week as we vote. Make us mindful that there are Rotarians around the world who do not have the same opportunity, nor the assuredness that their votes will be counted. We ask that more of our country and more of our world can be like Rotary, where we find peace through understanding one another. A place where we celebrate cultural differences and are eager to learn about those differences through fellowship and fun. Keep us as a club that honors its vocational past by engaging people of all backgrounds and all experiences. Amen.
And please welcome Vice President Ruth Lundeen to welcome guests and visiting Rotarians.
Just making sure that there isn't anyone on the virtual call that's a visiting Rotarian or guest, but it looks like they're not. So we want to welcome Barb Horrigan. Hey, visitor with and Dewey Jones. Where's Dewey? He's a guest of Mark Olson. So should I just stay right here and make a vision committee announcement that on our next vision committee meeting is on November 4th. That's Friday at noon at the Rotary office. So I'll get agenda out shortly. Is the next vision committee on Friday. And then we had a wonderful cleanup on Saturday, the hands-on downtown Jamestown cleanup. And I was really pleased with our Rotary turnout since it was a drizzly day. So we had, I want to give a thanks to Andy Goodell, Sharon Hamilton, Tori Irgang and Adam, Steve Sandberg, Hiroko, and Kenji Walters all helped with the cleanup. And I think this is a way it should be done. Is Lynn Gruel got there just when we were finishing up.
Our Rotarily Yours recorded today is Sue Jones. Many thanks to you and the Communications Committee again for all that you do. Are there any other chair or club announcements? Okay,
Kevin,
yes.
I'm sorry, I was late to the party here. We are planning a youth exchange committee meeting and there's been a doodle poll sent out. If you didn't receive the doodle poll, let me know. Sorry, I'm not looking at the camera. Let me know because that means you're not on my list, but we would love to have you on our committee. So we will be meeting in the next week or two. So thanks.
Thanks, Sherry. Anyone else? Okay. Sue Jones, pulling double duty today, here to help us celebrate our friends and November birthdays.
Well, sparse birthdays today. November wasn't a prolific month for babies. November 3rd, Deb Kathman, who is down in Florida with Deke, and they are babysitting longer than she had hoped, but God bless her for doing it, and God bless that she has grandchildren. She is the retired executive director of, well, that's just going to stay there, isn't it? Executive, new way to wear your earrings, girls. She's the executive director of Striders, and she's been taking care of grandchildren ever since she retired. She's a graduate of Mercyhurst College. She joined Rotary 1999, and she was sponsored by Doug Benson, her dad. Our second birthday, and I'm thrilled to announce that Melissa Myers is here. Melissa, yay. Melissa's birthday isn't until November 22nd, so don't forget her at the end of the month. She attended JCC. She attended Buffalo State College. She's a Paul Harris Sustaining Club member, as is Deb Kathman. She is a wonderful artist. If you have not had a chance to see some of her work, please do. She will be happy to tell you where it is, although there's more opportunities in the summer, but she is very, very talented. She also was a member of the Olean Club. Am I correct? What? Yeah, okay. Were you president there? Yeah, okay. And she was sponsored by Vince Horgan. She joined in 2020. Happy birthday to Melissa. And a very happy birthday on the 23rd to Mike Roberts. Mike is president of Allied Alarm Services. He attended Wright State University. He is also a Paul Harris Fellow. He is past president in the year 2000, 2001. He was sponsored by Sweet Harry Nicholson, and he joined the club in 1996. He has 3 Paul Harris Fellows. And because the free lunch goes to only those who are in attendance, Melissa, you win the free lunch. And today we're going to sing to our gobbler, okay? Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Gobbler. Happy birthday to you. And I am not speaking today about foundation because the chairman is speaking today and I don't want to usurp any of his talk. Thank you.
Melissa Myers, 50-50. And Doug, you can get ready with the sergeant at arm duties. That's all right.
We have $44.
44 to the winner?
Yeah.
Have our guest poll.
Winning ticket,
9029. Congratulations, Amy. Put the bucket there.
Good day. It was another quiet week. Rotarians were not pictured in the press this week. So that makes it rather short. However, why would I do that, right? On this date in 1765, something new for the United States of America happened back when it was a colony that Great Britain imposed upon it. Now, who would be historical buffs? Sue Jones was raising her hand. Oh, but you raised your hand. Close, but no cigar. No cigar. Stamp Act. The Stamp Act. Okay, yeah. It was on commerce, and T is commerce, yes. And here in New York State, it was 1683 was momentous signaling of the future as to how New York State was to be divided up. What do you think happened that the Crown did for the city of New York? Pat, you're hard of thought. No clue. Divided it into 12 counties. Should have asked Andy on that because he's the county expert, but I'll let him off today. I thought you should have known that. But let's try some football. Of course, Ohio State did win again, and Mike Roberts unfortunately is not here today. Notre Dame won. Mike Moots isn't here today. Darn. Cincinnati, Michigan State. Spud isn't here today. They beat Michigan. That was a big game. Wisconsin, I think we have a Mount Union grad in the audience. I think we have a Muhlenberg grad on Zoom. RPI, Cortland, no one's rushing up here. Baldwin Wallace, John Carroll, Worcester. I know we're Brockport, Case Western, Carnegie. Wow. All you people come from schools that didn't have football? Alfred State, St. John Fitcher, MIT, West Virginia. We have a lot of people from this area in West Virginia.
Valparaiso University.
Valparaiso, that's good. And that little known New York State school, mid-state Starts with an S. Syracuse. That's it. Hey. Give Greg a chance. So since we're still a bit shy here, I think today is probably the day that everyone who is not wearing their Rotary pin would like to contribute.
This, by the way, is from our table because my wife answered the question wrong because she listened to me.
Does anybody have a happy bucks they'd like to share? I'm going to kick that off. Took our kids trick or treating up at Sunset Bay with his cousins this weekend. And Mike Roberts is very generous with his candy. You have your other pin on.
So today I'm putting in $5 for Happy Bucks. November 20th at the Elks Lodge, we'll be having a fundraiser for my late cousin Ben Eimler, who was hit by a car riding his skateboard home on Mother's Day this year. So, and all the proceeds from that will be going to the Angel Tree with the Salvation Army. So I have the tickets in my car. You have up until the 14th to buy them. I encourage you to do so, or if not, donate. And shout out to Tori Ergang and the Chautauqua Community Foundation for helping set up that fund.
Thank you to everyone's generosity. We now have a Paul Harris presentation. Greg Jones, please.
So I'm going to start out with some good news. We are slowly going through our list of recent Paul Harris selections. My time up here is going to be limited, so I know you're all going to be kind of mad about that, but all good things must come to an end. My sermon today about the foundation is very short, but one of the reasons I personally joined Rotary was because it allowed me to share and do things throughout the world that I would never be able to do if I was not a Rotary member. And that really falls into something called the Rotary 9 Areas of Worldwide Interest that the Rotary Foundation supports. And if you support the Rotary Foundation in any extent, that means it is something that you support to make happen. And those 9 issues are ending polio, fighting disease, promoting peace, providing clean water and sanitation, supporting education, saving mothers and children, growing local economies, protecting the environment, and disaster response. Now, I'm going to go back to polio because we have some good news there for sure. And so far in 2021, only 2 cases of wild polio have been reported. That's the lowest circulation ever for that disease. 1 infection in Afghanistan and 1 in Pakistan. Those are the 2 countries remaining that remain an epidemic. I didn't say that right, endemic. We certainly have the challenges of political changes when it comes to Afghanistan, but the polio program has been there before and they're used to challenges in that country, and we will be successful. According to the World Health Organization and UNICEF, nationwide house-to-house polio vaccinations will resume in Afghanistan in early November, providing access to children in areas where campaigns had been banned to even go to for the last 3 years. So here we are in dinky little Jamestown, New York, honoring a member of our Rotary Club for his 3rd $1,000 donation to the Rotary Foundation, thereby doing his share to make good things happen throughout the world. So congratulations all who support the foundation, and I and many throughout the world. Thank you for doing that. So here's a little bit of information about our newest Paul Harris Fellow. And it's always interesting. You'll come come up with the answer pretty soon, but you always learn something on these. But he is a competitive power lifter with the New York State deadlift record. He deadlifted 505 pounds in the 148-pound waist class in 1986 and is still his older brother's weightlifting coach. He has 2 world records. Yeah, somebody already knows. He used to box in the Jamestown Boxing Club with the YMCA back in the mid-1970s and just recently started to fight again. And he wants me to let you know that's not with his wife. And so he started fighting again. Disclaimer, he doesn't meet his wife. And I said that once, that's enough. In 2014 and 15, he charted in the Billboard Hot Signal sales as a writer and producer with 2 different songs, one at number 6 and another at number 14. He loves to cook steak and makes his own salt rub that he gives away to whomever wants it. So if you want it, now is the time to ask, say, please come up with that. I heard it in Rotary. It's got to be true. And let's see. He joined Rotary in 1999. His sponsor was somebody named John Abramson. And many of you younger people will not remember John, but he was a great past member and a Paul Harris Fellow. And sometimes we kind of forget what Rotary and what it does can mean to us individually as members. For John and his wife Lois, our club's involvement in creating and participating in the Handicap Special Needs Camp was very, very important. So here's a fact that probably many of you have forgotten and many of you didn't know. But in total, they donated $171,000 to the Wendy Sharp Fund, which supports our efforts every year. So it is my distinct pleasure, as well as yours, to present this person with his 3rd Paul Harris Fellow, none other than, and he's no longer 148 pounds, Tim Edberg. And President Kevin will be presenting you with your pin. So, see, I always recommend to people, don't try to put the pin on the person, just put it in their hand, because we spend a lot of time on the floor.
That's the first one.
First one, oh, okay. Would you like to say a few words? He doesn't want to say a few words, but oh, sure you do. Yeah, okay.
No, I'll say a few words.
Oh, sure, you should.
Yeah. Thank you very much. Love Rotary. Who doesn't love Rotary?
Want a picture? Oh. Okay. Oh.
Always nicer.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, thank you. So when discussing with Tim, and he can share his Rotary Foundation board, he wanted to give that reward to somebody else and name them a Paul Harris Fellow who was a great community friend, a great friend and community supporter. So here are a few hints to guess which one that is. And I think you'll all get this kind of early in the game. But this person met their spouse in kindergarten, attended the University of Cincinnati. Due to work, this person had to move 14 times in 28 years, which means they probably couldn't hold the job. Served on the Chautauqua County Humane Society Board, dressed as Santa Claus for Christmas dog and cat pictures, served on the church finance committee and as church choir director, special assistant to the past Chautauqua County Executives Campaign Committee even, and served on the creche board as treasurer. By many of you now know that the power behind the throne of Colonel Horgan, our beloved Barbara, is now our newest Paul Harris Fellow. So I need Barbara and Tim to come up here. Tim? Oh. So in your hand, Barbara, is your Rotary pin, okay? And so Kevin gave her a Rotary pin, and I would like, Colonel Horrigan, if you would be so kind to present your wife with her Paul Harris medallion. And Tim, please give her her certificate. And on this one, I would like to stand out here.
Make sure I'm in.
Congratulations to all. And Colonel Horrigan, the reason why I had you come up here and give her her medallion is I want you to ensure that she wears it on her jammies tonight. So thank you all.
And now it's my pleasure to welcome Diana Meckley, Chair of the Literacy Committee, who will introduce our guest presenter today.
That's a tough act to follow, all that. It's my pleasure to introduce our program speaker today. Grace McKenzie is the Outreach Coordinator for WIC. Grace will educate us about what WIC stands for and the important work they do. Grace has worked in community relations and outreach with nonprofit organizations for the past 15 years. She holds a master's degree in education from Buffalo State College and is currently employed by Catholic Charities of Buffalo as outreach coordinator for WIC, covering Erie, Niagara, and Chautauqua counties. Grace lives in the Blaisdell-Hamburg area with her 2 daughters and travels to Chautauqua County a couple times a month. And I hope you will be all the more attentive today because the Literacy Committee and WIC are talking about a potential collaborative project in literacy. So now, to help us learn about WIC, please join me in welcoming Grace McKenzie.
Thank you very much for having me today. I really appreciate the opportunity to come and meet Rotarians and participate in your meeting. So thank you so much for this opportunity. WIC is administered by Catholic Charities in Erie, Niagara, and Chautauqua counties. We have had the WIC program in Chautauqua for about 4 years now. 4 years in January it will be. So we've had a lot of changes in WIC since we've come to Chautauqua County. I would like to talk a little bit about our services today and then an exciting new project that we're doing specifically in the Jamestown area that we're really excited about. So WIC is a federal nutrition program for pregnant women, children, and infants, and children up until their 5th birthday. So WIC actually goes with the child. So if a child is in foster care or adoptive care, they automatically qualify for WIC. So the WIC would go with the child. So we foster all sorts of opportunities for families with young children. Our services include our WIC food benefits that are issued on our electronic benefit card. But we also have many services for pregnant women and young children also. We have a peer counseling program where women who have breastfed their child for at least a year and had WIC while they were pregnant have been trained to be peer counselors. Those are support people to be able to work with pregnant women in our program, to be there for support and encouragement, to help them make a birth plan, help them make a breastfeeding plan, and really help them to find resources in the community that they might need. Our food benefits have been extended on the federal level. We increased our fruits and vegetables benefits for our pregnant moms and children to double their food package. So it went from $11 a month in fruits and vegetable benefits to $24 a month for children and $47 a month for pregnant women, which we are so very happy to be able to promote healthy eating and wellness for pregnant women and children. So that's a little bit of the information that's in the brochure on your tables. I would also like to speak about an exciting program that we have. In July, we applied for a grant from the Federal WIC Foundation, and that grant had to do with health equity. So it was a national RFP for projects that were to help health equity in our local communities. So what we put together was an RFP working with social determinants of health. So when a new family calls us and enrolls in WIC, in their first appointment with us, we go through a social needs assessment that assesses the whole needs of the family. Because what we've have found is when a nutritionist is working with a family and they're working on a health plan for the family, it's really difficult for them to follow their health plan if they have other needs that are unaddressed. If mom is homeless, it's going to be really hard for her to follow through with going to the doctor. If the family has other needs besides nutrition, it's really hard for them to follow through with those nutrition goals, if they can't pay their rent or if they just lost their job. So we put together a program where we assess families' social determinants of health using a screening tool. And then our nutritionists use the information that tool creates to be able to have a conversation with the family about the whole needs of the family. And once we identify what those needs are, we're able to give them meaningful referrals to all sorts of services that they may need in the community or through Catholic Charities or through both. And each family makes a health equity goal now. So that health equity goal is a goal that they create to be able to feel like they're uplifted out of their situation and into a more healthy, well-rounded lifestyle. So this grant that we put together back in July, we did receive the grant in August. So we just started this new program in October. We're really excited. This program is only in Niagara Falls, the city of Buffalo, and in Jamestown. That's it across the country. This program is only in three areas. So we are extremely fortunate to be able to launch this program in Jamestown and to participate and potentially partner with you and the literacy committee to give more resources to the families that we serve. In the Jamestown area, we do serve 1,300 families monthly. In the Dunkirk area, we serve about 700 families monthly. So our WIC program in Erie, Niagara, Chautauqua is the largest WIC program in the Northeast. And our WIC program is larger than the WIC program in 10 states. For example, our local program is bigger than WIC in Maine, Vermont, and Montana, for examples. So we have a large footprint, and that just means that we have a large amount of good that we can do in the community, especially with community partners such as yourself. So thank you so much for this opportunity. And if there's any questions, I'd certainly like to, yes. My office is out of Buffalo, so I travel from Niagara County through Erie County and to Chautauqua County. We do have a Chautauqua County director that's located in Jamestown, but covers all of Chautauqua County. Right now, our offices in Dunkirk and Jamestown are open only for emergencies. So if someone needed to pick up their WIC card or their benefits, they can come to our office and pick something up. But all of our appointments right now are done over the phone because we do have to work with the federal state of emergency. So since federally there's a state of emergency, we have to do everything remotely. Yes. WIC stands for Women, Infants, and Children. So our services are for pregnant and postpartum women, infants, and children up to their 5th birthday. Yes. Okay, we have partnerships with other community not-for-profit agencies. So, and we also have developed a referral process to other agencies. So for when we work with the family to identify their health equity goals, we do have a database where we refer to, Chautauqua Center and Chautauqua Opportunities and other agencies as appropriate. So we did comprise a database of different resources in the community and different not-for-profits and services so that we could give the most information as possible to our families. And certainly, I know that there's a lot of people here representing all sorts of agencies across the county. So we are very open to forming new partnerships. Yes. We have the social needs tool that we use to screen for the social determinants of health. That is put into our database so that we can pinpoint from what zip code a family is from, what their needs are. And so then we can look do mapping so that we see what kind of needs are in the specific communities of the county. And then we can pinpoint areas to do more outreach in. Oh, yeah. Okay. So we are a preventative public health service. So we are federally mandated or charged to help with decreasing low birth weight, increasing birth weight, and increasing healthy pregnancies. So a lot of our statistics show that the longer that mom comes to us and is on the WIC program, the healthier their child will be. So a mom can come to us at any point in her pregnancy from month 1 to month 9 and enroll in our services. And we see that the longer that they work with us, the healthier the outcomes are for her childbirth and her family. Yes. Yes. So we are different from SNAP because SNAP gives a dollar amount and then families can shop whatever they like with that dollar amount. We don't do that. We prescribe food. So it's a food package that the family receives monthly. So for example, it's all healthy food. So for example, if on their menu they get 8 gallons of milk and 4 bricks of cheese and 8 boxes of cereal for the month. We reach all of the food groups so that it's a healthy, well-balanced diet for the family. But they can shop as often as they like with the card. And so maybe they just buy milk and cereal, and then a couple days later they buy, cheese and bread and something different. So as long as they buy everything on their menu by the end of the month, that's all they really need to do. So the only food item that we don't cover, aside from, of course, the junk food and that type of thing, we don't really cover meats. We cover protein by beans, eggs, that type of protein, but we don't, meat is too expensive. It's not on our menus. But we are a supplemental program, so we're not meant to meet all of the nutrition needs of the family. We cover a good percentage of what they need, but we cover mostly just the staples. So it's not going to be everything that they need to eat in a month, but it will be, close to it for the healthy staples. Any other questions? Yes. Yes. We are a part of the USDA federal nutrition system. So on the federal level, we are supposed to cover pregnancy through early childhood. And then they assume at 5, you're going to kindergarten and the school lunches are going to kick in and the school meals are going to kick in. So there is a gap there because not everyone goes to kindergarten. So on the federal level, we are trying to get WIC, we're advocating to get WIC to go through age 6 to cover to 1st grade, but that's still in the works. That's not, law yet. So that's why we end at 5 is because, the school age system kicks in after that. Yes. We do. It's 185% of poverty level. So the chart is in the brochure that I passed out. Yeah, and just as a general guideline, if a family is already receiving food stamps or Medicaid, they automatically qualify for WIC because those programs have more stringent guidelines. If they do not have a government subsidy or a government program that they're enrolled in, then the income guideline kicks in. Mm-hmm. Okay. Yes. WIC that's a good question. WIC in the history of WIC in Chautauqua County, WIC has kind of bounced around from the counties to different agencies. Okay, so the state gets a certain amount of money from the federal government, from USDA to run WIC. And then the WIC money from the state goes to each county. Each county in the state gets to decide how they administer the WIC program. So we started out actually 25 years ago in Niagara County, because Niagara County put out an RFP that their county health department didn't want to run WIC, that they were looking at to outsource it. And so we got the RFP for Niagara County. And then about 10 years ago, we got Erie County for the same thing. They put out an RFP that they were looking for an agency to take it over. And then just 4 years ago, that happened in Chautauqua County. So really it's up to the county health department as to how they want to administer the program, or have someone administer the program for them. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Grace. One of Rotary's major international programs is the eradication of polio worldwide. We are down to just 2 countries, as you heard earlier, where polio exists. In honor and thanks for your presentation today, we will be making a donation in your name that will vaccinate 4 children who will never experience polio in their life. And to wrap up, remembering this year's Rotary International theme, serve to change lives. Caring for and serving others is the best way to live, because it changes not only the other person's lives, but also your own. Thank you. We are adjourned.